how you feel through 6 practices?
A lot better than this time last year. We're a lot further along. We had some bumps in the road today, but overall, just a lot further along. We've got a lot more in, are able to kind of fine-tune some things, tweak a few things here and there. So just, feel good about the progress, and the guys are responding well to just stay all the way, 2 weeks now. So pretty good start.
Danny, are you further along in cultivating the kind of run game that you want to cultivate?
Yeah, we really feel good about our zone game. We've got a little bit of some gap schemes in there. Our draw game is coming along. We've just got some run packages that we've been able to really focus on, and it's just been, even from day one, just a good start to getting closer to where we want to be running the ball.
Yeah. What things would you be concerned about coming out of these 6 days? What things will you look at going forward that you need to clean up?
Just kind of the execution part of it with some new guys. There's, especially up front, there's some new linemen in there trying to get that group to gel and work together. So I think just making sure we find the right 5 and then our depth beyond that. But, breaking in 3 new guys is it's a little bit concerning, but I think they're doing a good job. We've had a good battle in the guard positions. With Gates playing a little bit different side, being on the left side, he's working through some things, but he's had a great camp so far. But probably the offensive line depth is the biggest thing right now.
When would you want to see that begin to shake itself out? At what point?
Without doing a bunch of full speed live periods to this point, it's a little bit tougher to evaluate, but we'd like to get that really as we come back from spring break. That's got to start to iron itself out and get to where we feel confident about the guys that are going in.
How do you feel about it? Looks like you guys kind of have 3 top running backs at this point. You've repped them all with the number 1 units. How do you feel about those 3 guys, and especially McHale, who you kind of added to that mix since he didn't play very much last year?
Yeah, he's looked great. He's got some real speed. I think he's done a nice job on our outside zone plays. Just being able to stretch it and then take one cut and get up in there. And he's been really good. I like how Divine's looked. He's been an all-around guy. We've been playing with both Divine and Terrell and Divine and McHale in the backfield at the same time, which has been good. So I just like that personnel group, how that's come along.
Why did you want to do that? Go to that. I noticed that today, having those guys together, which you didn't do a lot of last year, right?
No, we part of it is kind of figuring out who the fullback is, and then the other part is getting those guys on the field. With 3 of them, you feel like you'd like to get 2 on the field at the same time. So we've been tinkering with that a little bit, but it's been good to be able to motion a guy out in the backfield and then still have a good runner in there to be able to give the run threat in there.
Divine's versatility, does it help? He's a big guy, so he's kind of a downhill runner, but he's also so skilled as a catcher.
Yeah, he's been great out of the backfield. He's got good hands, and he's really doing kind of everything well. He's catching the ball, he's running the ball. We haven't had a ton of pass protection with him quite yet, but as we get more pressure with the defense, we'll see more and more of that. But I like how he's coming along. I think he's just looking more comfortable than as a true freshman, and all that game experience will help him as we get into the fall.
How do you think Tommy and quarterbacks and Patrick has done? Because Coach Riley said that Patrick's looked pretty good.
He really has. He's doesn't look like a freshman, especially at that position. At this, only 2 weeks into it, there can be some real growing pains at that position. But I think he's picked up things well. He's throwing the ball very well, which we had hoped for. We think that he's proven us right in terms of what we saw in high school. He's doing a nice job of spreading the ball around. I think Tommy is just looking more efficient. He's taking care of the ball better. We've had some turnovers here and there. Had a couple today with that second group, but overall, I think we're doing a better job taking care of the ball.
I noticed Patrick, checking down at times. kind of throwing that shorter route. Is that something you want to see from a young kid, or do you want them to try to like test their arm and see if they can go downfield?
You know, I think that's the one thing about young quarterbacks is they probably don't check the ball down enough. You know, they're trying to get too greedy and push the ball down the field, which can be careless at times. So I like the fact that he's checking the ball down, which means he's getting through the progression. You know, he's looking downfield and he's made a decision about a receiver being covered, and he's gotten to that back out of the backfield, which is really good. That takes a long time for some of those quarterbacks. It takes them, you know, even a couple of years to get that. So the fact that he's doing that already is really good.
But at the same time, wide receiver is probably one of the deepest and most experienced positions. What's that kind of balance you're going to look for between focusing on that run but also maximizing those guys?
Yeah, when we get a 7-on-7 period, we can really focus on that passing game. As we get into more team setting, you'll see, you know, more focus on the run. So we're able to split that up with our 7-on-7 periods, but that is a deep group. I like how they've looked to this point. We've got some guys that are playmakers that can run and get open. So that's an encouraging thing, and I think our play action game is going to be better as we run the ball better.
What kind of leap is
Yeah, I think especially in blocking. You know, he's been a guy we can hand the ball off to. We know what he can do, running routes and catching the ball. But I think he's much improved in blocking. He's going to be a really versatile guy to play in any situation. He's really looked good up to this point.
You know, obviously you wanted to focus on the senior season in college, but at the same time, can you start to tell a kid like that, here are the things that pro clubs might be looking for, here's where you got to hone your game up, because he has the body for the next thing.
Yeah, the blocking is the biggest thing. You know, there's all kinds of pass catchers in the NFL, but they have to be blockers too. And so I think that's a part of his game that he really needed to improve on. I think he's worked hard in the weight room. He looks stronger. He's more physical already. Excuse me. So all of those things that he's been working on in terms of blocking will help him, you know, have that kind of season that he's looking for. Excuse me.
How about that tight end position in general after season? How's it stack up right now?
I like how it's looked. You know, so we're trying to find a little bit more about Tyler Hoppus. I think he's had a good spring. You know, being able to play with Sam and Seathan together at the same time, and then adding Trey to that mix. We've got a little bit of package with all three of them, so having some more depth there will help our personnel groups where we like to run the ball out of.
Tyler Hoppus is a name we've heard much of. What does he bring?
He's been a really good route runner. I think he's got good speed and quickness. He's got good hands. You know, again, these guys that are catching the ball at that H position, they've got to learn how to, you know, block a little bit better. But I like how Tyler's looked to this point. He's doing a nice job on the routes, but his blocking's coming.